Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Doing Business in Bentonville. My name is Andy Wilson, and I'm so glad that you've joined us today. Well, my guest is Kim Souza. Kim, welcome back for many times. We're so glad you're back.
Thank you.
Well, Kim is a journalist. She's senior analyst of Talk Business and Politics and of Northwest Arkansas Business Journal. So you have a lot going on.
Absolutely.
I would tell you. Well, I can't believe I got her, actually, because she's so busy. And we're going to talk about the event that happened in Northwest Arkansas last week, Walmart.
Absolutely. Walmart, through their big week for their shareholders and their associates, employees.
So Kim, she has written about this. She's writing more about it. And so you're going to get the latest from her and what's going on. There's so much to talk about. How many thousands of associates were here last week?
I think about 3,500 they brought in for the week, and I know that they had the shareholder week for training and meeting with employees and associates from all around the globe. There were 14,000, I think, at the event, and of course millions watched online.
Right. Well, so we're going to get into this, and this is why we're doing it. What Walmart did last week is something that is rooted so deeply in the culture. I spent over 25 years at Walmart and grew up there, basically, and that was my career. And what happened last week, Kim, goes all the way back to Sam Walton, the founder, and Walmart has just carried on Sam's philosophy of the company, of the people, of how all of this is so integrated. You can see it and what happened. But Kim, let's just get started because you were there with the media organization. You got so many great stories. You had opportunities to talk to Doug McMillon, the CEO. So many things that you can share behind the scenes with us today. We're gonna get into many of that, and I know many of those things. I know you've written already much about it, and there's much more to come. So let's just get started.
Okay.
Where do you want to go?
Let's start with the leader, Doug McMillon. He's 10 years now as CEO of the world's largest retail company. It's not a job he takes lightly or for granted. He really is thoughtful about every decision that he makes, and he and his leadership team make for the company. We don't know how long Doug McMillon will lead Walmart, but we know that the contributions he's making and that he's made over the last decade will lead Walmart toward the next 60 years of business. He has some of the things that I think he's done is bring along very strong leaders. He recruited strong leaders for the business, from Greg Foran to Judith McKenna to Kath McClay to Tom Ward. He brought these people from around the world that were already in Walmart and brought them to the United States and helped usher them into new leadership positions. And they really are rethinking and reimagining all that Walmart can be. Right. I think that he is really trying to position the company for the next 60 years. If you look at some of the risk that he's taken, and I will say he's taken some risk on the business. When he purchased Jet.com in 2016, people said, oh, no, that's $3 billion. But look, he says, we don't have Jet anymore, but what we have is the expertise and the learnings from Jet. And Mark Lowry, who spent 5 years with them, now they have $100 billion e-commerce business. That's a huge leap from the $3 billion they spent for Jet. So that was a gamble, a risk that paid off. He also has pared down the international division. David Glass built it up, started building it up. But times have changed. And Doug said, we're going to focus on high growth areas. And he divested of Brazil, ASDA, and Japan that were more stagnant countries, and focused on Flipkart. And they spent a lot for Flipkart in India, but my goodness, it's a whole ecosystem that they've got.
Right.
And the learnings that they're taking from Flipkart, they're applying to Walmart Mexico with phone pay apps and a lot of the ecosystem around delivery and paying by phone. They're taking that now to Mexico. So he's really building a global enterprise that learns from each other, but he's using it in high density countries like Mexico and China and India. I would say that some of those decisions might have been questioned by the media, but I think they've worked out just fine for him.
Right.
I asked him recently who was his greatest mentor inside Walmart, and he told me David Glass. And the reason he chose David Glass is because he said David took big risks for the company, and he was vilified for it in the media. And he said David wanted to expand Sam's Club, and that was just an experiment, and they weren't sure that was going to work. It's now nearly $100 billion business. He also expanded international and thought that Walmart could be a global company. And we see today that without Sam's Club and without international, Walmart wouldn't be what it is today.
Right.
One other thing David did was usher in grocery and super centers. And that is 52% of Walmart U.S. sales.
Right.
So without those three things, Walmart would be a mere fraction of what it is today.
Yeah, absolutely. I always said this, and in all the meetings I was in with David Glass, I'll tell you this. I'd always thought he was the smartest man in the room. And that's not a discredit to anyone. There's a lot of smart people in the room. But David, you're right. He was such a visionary. And I have a story about David, and if we get to it, I'll talk about it today. One of my very first trips with David Glass, and I still remember his day because it was such great learning. But one of the things about Doug, for a moment, that I think is so unique. I think Doug is truly a unique leader. I think he really is. I think he's so authentic, and he's. I've known Doug for a lot of years, and he's just grown up to be exceptional, and he's learned from so many great leaders.
Yes.
Talk about that in your perspective as you look at things, Doug. Talk about what your observation of Doug.
Well, he told me, when I was coming up as a young merchant, Don Harris took me under his wing and showed me the ropes, and I will forever be grateful. Yeah. He said when he became CEO of Sam's Club, he called on A.F. Lafley and Steve Reineman, and they were CEOs of Pepsi and Procter & Gamble, and said, help. Yeah. I'm going to be a CEO. And he said, they helped me, and I have since tried to mentor and help people because we learn from each other. Yeah. I think he's never afraid to ask for help, and that takes humility.
Yeah. Yes.
Someone at his level who's not afraid to ask for help. Right. And I don't mean just from other CEOs. He takes ideas from store associates. I mean, just like Sam, he believes in listening to people, and that has set him up to be a good leader.
Yeah, I agree. He really is. He's doing a great job. I'm glad you got an opportunity to spend some time with him. And but he truly is establishing Walmart to be a people-led technology-powered company.
Yes.
He's really doing that. That's where Walmart is today. That's where Walmart is going. It's really clear from the meetings last week that's it. That's their focus. People-led, very technology-driven, because that is where retail is going.
Yes.
This very, very omni-channel experience. And so let's build under Doug. And I'm so glad you started with Doug, and I'm glad you had that opportunity. So what else what's the next thing that we need to talk about under leadership?
Well, I would say that one of the things that Doug and his leadership team are doing is try to build an ecosystem of additional revenue streams around Walmart, U.S. They are using technology to help them do that. They have a multi-billion-dollar advertising business today that's going to continue to grow. That's powered by AI and other technology platforms. They have a data analytics business in Walmart Luminate that they're selling to suppliers and furnishing suppliers to help them better manage their business down to the store level. They're doing that through technology. They're also using technology in stores. They're using Gen AI, generative artificial intelligence across the enterprise. It's a new technology, but Walmart said, we don't care if it's new. We're going to find out how it best applies to our business. And they've been working with generative AI for at least 3 or 4 years.
Right.
They've used generative AI to improve the personal assistant feature in the Walmart app. You can now ask the Walmart app, if you're going to throw a tailgate party, you can ask the app, what are the foods I need to throw the best tailgate? And it will curate a list of items, and all you have to do is check it in, and it will go to your cart. That is a convenience. A personal shopper that's going to pick out those things. That personal shopper will look at the chips, that knows what kind of potato chips you buy, knows what kind of dips you buy, and they will automatically put that in your cart. That is a unique way to use generative AI.
Right.
They announced that they're tweaking that and they're making it more user-friendly, which is always a good thing. They also announced last week a partnership with the Fusion Group to expand the digital shelf labels to 2,300 stores. It'll go in half the store fleet.
Right.
And that means that they want to institute a price change. It's just done instantly, and it's all managed in Walmart's cloud. They said the prices won't change during the day, but in the overnight, if a rollback is going to happen, it will roll back overnight automatically. Somebody will set that in, and it will automatically feed those price changes to those digital shelf labels. That saves a lot of paper. That saves a lot of time. It also, when personal shoppers are in the store picking your order, I know you've seen them with the cart stacked up 8 high, they take their tails on and they point it to the shelf, and the item they're searching for will light up on the shelf, so they go right to it and pull it. Also, when the shelf is near empty, it will light up so that the stockers can see that it needs to be replenished. That is a great use to improve store efficiency, and they're using it through this digital shelf label. So they announced that. Let's see, what else did they announce? They recently just opened their 4th high-speed, high-velocity fulfillment center. I'm not sure where it was. I know they've got 4. One of them, the closest one, is in Dallas. Those systems can pick and pack orders 20% to 30% more items and faster than a typical distribution center. So, and they're accurate. The picking is accurate through automation. John Ferner said 1,400 stores are served with automation today, either in the back room, helping with sorting stuff off the pallet, to other areas in the store, from the freezer temps in the frozen section. They're using it to make sure that every time the door is open, the stuff stays cold. They regulate it with this technology. So they're using it throughout the operation. That, is just a company that's embedding tech in everything they do. And a lot of it they're building in-house, but they're also partnering with, Fusion, Google, Microsoft, you name it, Apple. They're partnering with these tech giants to help them fashion how tech will look at Walmart. But make no mistake, Walmart is a tech company still, and it's going to be a bigger tech company.
Exactly. Well, that sounds exciting so far. Now, I know in order to get all of this done and all of this executed, it's critical to have the associates in the stores around the world very well trained, educated, and focused. And Walmart is doing a lot about that. Let's talk about some of the things that Walmart is doing for the associates to equip them for the future.
Perfect. I would say that goes directly back to Doug and the board wanting to invest in people. It's a major focus. It's a major focus of everybody on his team, on his leadership team. They recently announced pay raises for managers and hourly employees, and Walmart gets hammered a lot over pay. But they have raised pay, and they have, more than just raising pay, they have ushered in this amazing training program called Live Better You, and they provide free college degrees. They provide, I think it's 200 different programs you can upscale your knowledge and move up. And that's what Walmart wants. They don't want you to start as a cashier and stay a cashier.
Right.
I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Yes.
But they want you to grow in the company, and they make it so easy to do that. That's not going to change. They announced an associate employee to technician program last week, and they're going to be providing training for HVAC, automation technicians, industrial maintenance technicians, and they're going to take their own the rank of people and DC people and allow them to do this training and really upscale their income from, I think the average wage at Walmart now is like $18 an hour. And they could earn from $25 to $45 an hour in these new roles.
These are critical skill roles.
They're skilled jobs, yes.
They are. And you've got to have this talent. And, in your organization, in order to help manage all of this skilled labor that's needed in these distribution centers.
You can't automate stores unless you have technicians in stores to work on that stuff when it goes down.
Right.
And you and I both know technology is great when it works, but when it doesn't, it's not. So they can't run these stores and high velocity distribution centers without this talent.
And this talent, Kimberly, when you were there, are they bringing this talent up within the organization?
Yes, it's all coming from within.
Okay.
They've identified people that they would ask to apply, and then I think if you want to apply, you can apply. There's a selection process, but they plan to train over 1,500 people within Walmart's U.S., I think it's 1.2 million associates. 1,500 of those people from the store to the D.C. will have an opportunity to do this training and upscale their skill level and, build these roles. Walmart said they're going to need this. They're going to need these roles. And rather than go out and recruit that in, they're going to give their own people the opportunity to fill it and grow. They did the same thing with commercial truck driving.
Right.
They have I think trained and got 200 drivers on the road.
Yeah,
and I've covered trucking, and it is a highly, highly competitive business for drivers. Walmart said, we're going to grow our own.
Right.
And I love that. That's right out of Sam Walton's playbook.
It is. Exactly. And you mentioned earlier they've doubled the amount of certifications on Live You Better.
Yes.
To more 50 Walmart paid skill certificates. Now,
They fast track. I think they have 200, but they're fast tracking the 50 now to 200. I think you can get it like in 12 weeks. Something super fast.
Isn't that right? Also, now, it's just you said it. I just got to go back and underline what you just said. It's Sam Walton's playbook.
Yeah. Listen, I've said this. I've said this for about 4 or 5 years now. I think Doug channels Sam Walton in his dreams, and maybe David Glass too, because so many of the decisions he's made really come right out of Sam Walton's playbook. And I don't think. I mean, that is a leader who is leading for tomorrow by looking at what has worked in the past and tweaking it for relevancy today.
Right.
And he's doing it every day.
Another one is they announced a new bonus program up to $1,000 for hourly associates rewarding their great work and service.
Yeah. They said that that's an employee request that they've taken to heart. Stores wanted a way to have the store benefit if the store excels, and so they're going to bonus them on performance meeting and exceeding performance metrics. Something else they did, Andy, was they gave raises to store managers and stock incentives to store managers. And because nobody is closer to the customer than store managers and store associates. And having them be owners in the company changes the way they look at their job.
Exactly.
The customer is truly there for them personally and for Walmart. And I just think that Sam and Helen, I think it was Helen's idea.
It was.
If I can remember correctly.
You're right. It was Helen.
Allow employees to own part of the company.
Right.
And recently, Walmart split its shares 3 for 1. And the reasoning behind that is because Doug said we wanted, and Greg Penner, the chairman, said we wanted the employees, the associates in the stores to be able to own more full shares. And it's more attainable for them when it's $60 a share as opposed to $180 a share.
Right.
And Doug said this past week that 404,000 employees are now part of the stock ownership plan through payroll deduct, and he wants that to grow. Over 700,000 are in the 401k with a match, but he said you can be an hourly associate and own Walmart. They'll do it through payroll deduct. And I will tell you, Walmart grew and grew and grew under Sam, and the stock grew and grew and grew under Sam. And David, you were a shareholder, an employee, but then it kind of went sideways for a while, and it's been growing again under McMillon. It's, as you know, the larger the company is, the harder it is to grow. The law of averages work against them, but Walmart's figuring out a way to do it through these alternative businesses that add revenue to the company. Something else they said a couple of times last week was Walmart will grow profits ahead of revenue. Okay. If you're a shareholder, don't you want to grow profits? I mean, profits is what pays the bills. Revenue is great, but profits pay the bills. And they're growing profits faster than revenue. And they're growing revenue at 4 to 5% a year. So the way they're able to grow profits is because they have built these other systems that illuminate, the Go Local, the Connect, all these ancillary businesses that provide fuel to the engine. And that sets Walmart apart.
Exactly. I think you're exactly right. I can just, from my experience alone, coming from college and into Walmart and growing up very, very poor, what I caught, the vision I caught early on from Sam was that me as an individual could accomplish more than I ever thought possible. I've seen that. And now what's so wonderful is there's more opportunities today than ever. And that's awesome. I'm so excited about that. But you take an hourly associate, if they can look at the future, say, I can accomplish more than I ever thought possible because people are doing it. And they're hearing those stories. And that is so inspiring. It's so motivating, so encouraging for the people. And that is, again, out of Sam's playbook.
Well, Doug was asked last week why, if the shareholder meeting had a good ROI, return on investment.
Okay.
And he said, it does. I can't give you a number, but let me tell you how and why it does. He said, associates come to the meeting for the first time, and it changes their life. It changes their perspective. He said 40 years ago, his first Walmart day at Walmart, I think he was unloading trucks or something, but they called him over to the Bentonville High School gym and had him hang banners. And he said, I was in awe because I was hanging banners over the stage where Sam Walton was going to speak later that day. He said his first shareholder meeting, his dad brought him as a teenager. He has fond memories of his first shareholder meeting as an outsider. He said this past week he met with I think it was a young man that was somewhere in the United States, I don't remember where, who sought him out and said, thank you for this amazing week. I've been an hourly employee, but I'm going back. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to be a store manager. And someday I might have your job.
There you go.
And Doug said, I hope you do.
I hope he does too, yeah.
That is, he said, during the week, these associates, employees who come from around the globe, they network, they make face-to-face contact with people that they can have lasting relationships their whole life. And he said the meeting is, yes, we do it. We have the meeting for shareholders because as a publicly traded company, we're supposed to do that. But what we do on Friday is for our people because our people make our company what it is.
It's a great week. No question about it. Yes. Okay, now, so we talked about leadership. We talked about Doug some. We talked about the technology. We talked about people. Now, what else you want to? Because this is so good. I know you're writing other articles and stories.
I would just say, keep your eye on Walmart. They're doing things that are going to grow the company exponentially in the next few years. I'm not touting you to buy their stock. That's not my job. But I'm telling you, they haven't really nowhere to go but up. Because if they keep trotting toward this path of we can always do better. Last week he said we can always do better. We have not reached our full potential. He challenged every person in that auditorium, gymnasium, whatever it was, arena last week to strive to do their full potential. He said Walmart's not there yet. Walmart can always do better. Berner said the same thing yesterday. We can always do better. If we get complacent, that's when we'll fail. And he said, McMillon said he's seen it in Walmart. He's seen leaders get complacent and the company didn't grow. And he said that grass is not going to grow under our feet. We are going to do better every day. We're going to find ways to serve our customers wherever they are, whether it's technology or whether it's in stores or some combination of the both. He said, we're going to serve customers. And that's right out of Sam Walton's playbook.
That's awesome. Okay, Kim, what else are you working on? What's going on with you? Because I know you're into a lot of things all the time.
I'm going to be writing about Walmart's international division, what they're doing with Flipkart and in Mexico. Those businesses are just growing gangbusters. I think they said Flipkart is soon to become a profitable business, and that changes the game when something becomes profitable. I will say Walmart's Sam's Club e-commerce is already profitable. And Walmart said its e-commerce business is about a year to a year and a half from being profitable. When those businesses become accretive to the business instead of detractive from the business,
Right.
what's going to happen? It's going to grow.
Right.
And I'm writing about Sam's and the leadership there, the growth and the Members Mark brand, and my goodness, what a fabulous brand. And it took them a while to get there.
It did.
But they did it. They're growing that brand, and they think they can double their revenue.
Well, speaking of food, now, didn't you get to sample some stuff?
Better Goods.
Yeah.
Yes. Folks, watch your stores for Better Goods. I got to sample everything from appetizers to ice cream to what else? Tacos, pizza, nuts, amazing product line.
When is this coming out?
Well, right now in local stores, I see the sparkling water is out, and I think the ice cream is out.
Okay.
As the modulars reset, they're going to be adding this. So it depends on. They have, I think, 200 products. Right now, it's just food, but it's really the Walmart private brand team really hit it out of the park with this offering.
So what's the brand again?
Better Goods.
Better Goods. Okay, so it's coming.
It's
was
coming,
out.
and
It's
you
coming.
can see it you can see it in ice cream, and you can see it in the sparkling water.
Okay. All right. Well, you always do such a great job, and
Thank you.
I just love having you in because you bring such great information to us, and you do it in such a great, wonderful, and unique way. So thank you for always being here. And as always, this store is always open for you. I want you to come back as much as you want because you always just update us so well. Thank you for all the wonderful things you're covering and such a great job. Now, if people want to read all about you, they can find your stuff, right, at Talk Business and Politics and Northwest Arkansas Business Journal.
Right.
So there you have it, Kim Souza. There she is. Great job today. Thank you so much, as always, for being on Doing Business in Bentonville.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. A great review from Kim Souza on Walmart and the Walmart meeting that took place last week here and the Walmart celebration that followed at the end of the week. What a great week. What a great conversation. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day.